socket IO. So socket IO is just like sending the how to send the message to via both bidirectional way and all. We are going to just cover. Okay, let's come to the React part. So before React, so how web application is working? This web application has been created using a normal HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So HTML is a hypertext markup language. So I am speaking to you, so because you know our of the English, so I am speaking in English. The same way, I would like to convey my messages, can come to convey my text to the browser. The browser understand the HTML language. That's why we have just type the code in a tag manner. So next part will be the CSS. CSS is nothing but it's just so how the page has been look like. Okay, so that's why we are adding like this element has to be placed in the right side. This element placed to the center. So everything apart from everything, all the things is going to handle in the CSS. But in JavaScript, something is special. So it's just like, so if something I'm going to search like here, so something I'm going to do like a cricket. So this action will be handled in the JavaScript. So all the web application must be going to be implemented using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So now last 10 to 15 years, the latest thing is React and Angular, Ember.js, Vue.js has been lot of frameworks has been introduced, and mostly those will be the advanced library to implement the web application. That's the one part is React. So React is basically is not a framework. Okay, React. So who are going to cover? Who are going to say about the React is they are going to say like a React is a library. Okay, it's not a framework. So first of all, we need to understand the library and framework. Okay, so library is nothing but if it is a library, then I am so developer have a full control of flow of the applications. So okay, there is no code, there is no React is not going to take an entire flow. So we are the owner, we are have a own flow of the our application. But in framework has to decide, framework have a full control of the flow of the application. Let's say for example, if React is a library, right? So I have already built one application. So everything has been implemented using HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, so I would like to add the one section, one component, one div alone to be a React component. So then I can build the React application and then just going to refer the JavaScript on the file. Then it will be easily updated and easily will be applicable. Okay, but come to the framework, I have to do the entire application has to be written in a chosen language, either it's an Angular, either it's Ember, whatever it is, but it's a React that is a special. That's why it's called as React is a library. So React is just helping developers to create a UI component as a tree structure. Okay, the component has been mixtured based on the HTML and JavaScript. So that's why React is the more familiar. So if you're going with some other Angular or Ember.js, you have to must know some other language. If it is an Angular sense, you have to learn about the JavaScript as well as TypeScript. Also, it has some certain flow cases. But in React, it's just going to, if you're familiar with only for JavaScript, then React it will be the most easiest way. Also, it will be a you can able to adapt in React within a short time of period. Okay, so React is just creating able to create the UI components. Each components has a some certain functionality. Okay, it's just combination of HTML and JavaScript. That's it. Okay, let's we'll do one React applications. It's just on a. Okay, I'm just going to front end stack bits. Okay, yeah, it's a front end. It's a React, right? It's okay. Yes. So basically, so React, right? So React has a library. It has some dependency called React and React DOM. Okay. So React is a library. What are the functions? What are the who's going? Everything will be supported from React itself. For React DOM, it will be just do the DOM manipulation operation. Okay. So if you're going to append the elements, so if you're going to create a element, so everything will be handled in the React DOM library. Okay. So initial project will be the public. So public file has a index.html. At the whatever you're going to implement, at the end of the day, is going to create is going to show a one HTML file. Thus the application, thus the HTML file is index.html. So here this mentioned as a div. Okay, so I will maximize. Yes. So div ID root. Okay. So what are going to do? What are going to create? What are going to make a functionality? All the things I'm going to append the root element. Okay, the source has a app.js and index.js. A CSS is nothing but it's just like a cascading style sheet to apply some styles and all. Okay, so if you run the application, it definitely is going to take care of the index.js. Okay, so index.js has a app component. So this is import React. So it will be support only for how the React has been going to work. Okay, so React DOM, what I have told before, the DOM is just like a DOM manipulation. So to append the elements or get the elements, the create element, everything will be handled in the React DOM. Okay, so here and what I am doing is React DOM dot render. Okay, so the React DOM is a library. I'm just calling the render method. So render method has a two argument. The first argument will be the component that is I have created in a React. Okay, it's already temporary, already created actually. Is React create hello stuff, right? This is going to refer. So document dot get element by ID root. So what will happen if I run the application? So okay, the app component will render or appender. So when document get element ID getting the element from the root, this root element has been added in a index.html file. So okay, so that's why this page has been look like a hello stack. We start editing to see some magic happen. This content has been displayed in the page. Okay, so basically in React has been into like Facebook. So Facebook has been implemented actually. So React, why is React most famous? React supports the single page application. So there is a difference between what is single page application, what is multi-page applications. The single page application, just like whenever there is an update happen, okay, the entire page is not going to refer. The particular component alone is going to refer. Let's say, for example, if the cricket scorecard on Facebook, right, say there is some ad is showing, right? So whatever the ad is updated is not going to refer the entire page, correct? That is a single page application. Okay, if some say some site, if some stock website, okay, is rendered from the class server side, whenever there is a single bit of the update, this going to refers the entire page. That is multi-page application. So React basically support the single page application. Okay, also it has a individual UI component. Each UI component has going to perform a certain elements. Okay, let's say, so here, right? So this is a React. So if I check here, this is an app. Okay. So each and every main navigation, main body, header, company logo, all are as like individual pieces, individual components. Okay. Yes, guys. Okay. Yeah. Solar have a individual component. So everything has been worked like a tree of structure. So app root is a parent component. That parent component has a two element. So main navigation and main body. The two child component has a some separate siblings elements. So header, company, and shop link, sign in. So even is this was the application has been flow we have actually made. Okay. So the same way I'm going to do like one component. So this is the functional component. Okay. And just what I'm going to do like yes, just we are going to create our own component like const, okay, app is equal to method. So what is just like a function. So okay, what are the function we are going to return is just going to return some value, right? So here I'm just going to return some one element. Okay, return, okay, some div. Okay, here what I'm going to do is hi React. Okay, now I'm going to do like a export default app. So what will happen in index.js? It basically refer the app component. The app is refer from here. If I go navigate the app, then it will be directly navigate to the app.js. Okay, the app is just written the one element that is called div. So we inside the div just mention like a hi here. Okay, so in the React version 16, currently the React version is 17. So 18 is probably is going to release in couple of months itself. Okay, that's from official news. So currently in the React 17 is going to be major player. So before 16, 16 versions, 2 years before itself, the React is basically has a class component and functions component. So basically, what is the difference between a class component, function component? Class component has a stateful component. Functional component is not a stateful component, it's a stateless component. State is nothing but it's just the heart of the component. Just going to water, is just like a local storage. Okay, water going to update the value, water going to get the value. We are just making the state value. Nowadays, the after 16.8, so nowadays functional component also have some state values. Okay, using hooks, right? We can be able to achieve the state. So what the state sense? If let's say for example, okay, I am just going to do like a one div element. Inside the div, I'm just going to create a one input box. Input type, okay, text. Okay, so value will be okay. Okay, here I'm just like a paragraph. P. So, okay, so I just create an input text box. I'm just going to create some one paragraph. Okay, so my requirement is whenever going to type this text box, their expected value has to be so in a paragraph itself. That's my requirement. So what I'm going to do today, so I'm just going to create a one variable. It's not in JavaScript, just we are getting a variable, right? The same way we just in React, just we are going to create a one state value. Okay, so const value, comma set value equal to use state. Okay, so this is the default value actually. So empty string is the default value. So use state is nothing but it's just like a hooks. So okay, this was introduced in a functional component in the version of 16.8. Okay, so what happened? The value is the variable name, set value is the action. Okay, when you're going to change the value, this set value has a method. We have to use this method to the update the state value. Okay, the same value I'm going to mention here. So now what I'm going to do is just on change event. Okay, in on change, just going to create set value, just calling this callback method set value e dot target dot value. The same way we are doing in the HTML JavaScript. Okay, so what will happen if I just here write paragraph? In paragraph, I just mention like a value. So okay, what will happen? Okay, what I'm just going to type, okay, the paragraph will be automatically updated. Okay, I am not going to change anything. It's not going to happen the dynamic. It's not going to refer the entire page and all. Okay, if I just type in the text box hi, okay, that paragraph also will update automatically. That is because of the state value. So okay, how it works inside? So I have created one on change event. In on change event itself, I just call the set value method. So in this value, update the text box value. So e dot target dot value. Okay. So when you're going to change the text, it's just reflect the on change event. That value has to be updated in the set value. So automatically value has been updated. Okay. So whenever the value is updated, since the paragraph value has been updated automatically. That's what this application has been working. Idea. Okay, we automatically updated. So this is called the hooks. Using hooks, we are just updating the state value. The same way we can able to do in a class component, but in class component has some we have to inherit from the component, and it is full like it supports the life cycle methods. Within the render method, we have to return the element. But in nowadays, most all developers, most companies trying to convert the class component to function component. Okay, so this is the way we can able to do it in CSS part. Okay, so in normal HTML in JavaScript, how we have for the CSS, the same in way like inline style or internal style or some external style, the same way we can able to do here itself. If you're going to do like a inline style, then just directly mention like a style. Okay, so let's just support like an object, so mention like a font, sort, color, okay, like a red. So what is going to type is the red. Okay, but same we can do like a internal cell series. Okay, so just like a index style.cs has been referred, right? So here then what I'm going to do like index.j app.js, I'm just going to create a one id or class whatever it is. Okay, text element. Okay, in style.css what I'm going to like has text hyphen element color correct. Okay, here up yes, the same also the style.cs has been referred here. Okay, so if I have the JSS, if I have this component has been rendered, then that time the cell.css will be up and down. So automatically the color has been updated. So React basically creating the multiple chunks of components. Okay, we can whatever we have based on the functionality, based on the requirement, we can create a n number of components. So that's why React is more reusable. So let's, for example, if I have created one text bar, let's consider like on create account, Gmail create account. It has a name and last name, confirm password. If I'm going to create a one text bar as a common component, there is no need to create a multiple text bar in my application. I just call the same component what I have created before. So with name, just created what I have created, just refer. So it's a last name, the same component I can be able to use that. Okay, there is no need to do the need to the there's no need to write the code from the scratch also. Okay, the next things will be the style component. So style component, why style components can't be the plays the major roles inside. Style is a the style component is just like a combination of the JavaScript and CSS. Okay, so if just we're just creating the one 5 to 6 lines of course and added the one few classes, few styles and all. But if it in the real-time application, we have a multiple CSS file, so multiple pages as well. So what will happen? This will be like a one CSS file is just going to refer on the page itself. So what will happen whenever the page is refers, whenever the page call, the index, the entire CSS has to be up and down on the DOM. So also we can't able to maintain the CSS class name. So we can't able to faculty is a frag next classes support. We can't able to maintain. Also the page has to be heavily load. If I'm going to check with the page speed will also be occur because the unnecessary CSS will be loaded. So that's the why the style component has been played the major role on that part. So nowadays there is a lot of JS and CSS component, style component has been done, but style component is the plays the major role. So look like a material JS or a MUI component or and JS. So all the component has been supported the JavaScript plus CSS. So okay, so next, I will just going to create a one application from in local itself. Okay. So and then we'll see the style component usage here. File. Okay. So okay, if you're going to create the application in local machine, we have to install the Node.js. Okay, sorry, Node we have to install. My current Node version will be the 14 versions. I have installed Node, so we have to install Node. Then we can use like a normal application npx create hyphen react hyphen app. Okay, using this command, we can be able to create the React application in our local system directly. So then it will be the my app. This is the project name. Okay, this is just cloning the application and installing in my end. Though my app is folder is created. Okay, then after the what will happen? The entire node models by default packages has been installed in our application like React DOM. So whatever React scripts. So what all the thing has been installed in my local system based on the packages JSON. Okay, wait, is going to install. So we can check the normal React documentation stuff. So React, how to create React app, right? So the React community is a big community actually. So it has support a lot of things. It has mentioned the how to create React application, how the node has to be installed. Okay, you can just refer this page. You can able to create the React application in your land. Okay, so this is the way we are just creating the applications. Okay, I think package has been, yeah, now it's ready. So okay, so once we have installed the application, what will happen is as a dependency like React, React DOM, React scripts. Okay, so the partition is my app, those scripts also will be added start. Okay, so I'm just going to like a cd my hyphen app and just yarn start. So npm run start. Okay, script I'm going to call. For run the application, it will be hosted in the 3000. Yes, it's render. Okay, so it has contained same like as source app.css, app.js, index.css, index.js. Okay, basically the same like what we have seen in the online, the same thing. Index.js has an app. The app has a certain component. The rest of the CSS has been referred like here. Okay, if I would like to add the one model, right? So let's say for example, model HTML CSS. I'm just do whatever has been double click school and just do the same thing in my application itself. Okay, so this is the CSS. I'm just going to the same. I'm just copy the same code and just paste in app.css. I didn't do anything. Just I have just copy from this code and paste in my CSS, and then I'm just going to copy this code. Okay, so in app.js, let's see. So we'll convert it. Okay, so there. React from React. Okay, so this should be a class name. It's not going to be a class. This will be going to be a class name. So in normal HTML CSS, we just mention like a class, but in React, everything will be the camel case. The class has to be a class name. Okay, so app.cs also have that. Okay, if like click the open model, the model has to be open. The same like in HTML. If you click the model component has been open. Okay, this component has been written in the model hyphen content. So this is the model component. Okay, how it has been implemented since the app.css, right? This will be the none. Okay, when is going to be a block, then only the component has been going to be created. Okay, so what I'm going to do, like this is will be the display block. Okay, if the kid are run the application, it automatically open. So now what I'm going to do, like just creating the one state value, the same like, okay, fonts visible, comma set visible equal to use state false. Okay, if it is visible, if the visible value is true, then I'm going to show that model. Else, I'm just going to return the null element. Just going to return the empty element. So what I'm going to do is in button, right? The button, I'm just going to create a one click event on click. Just going to set the value set visible. Okay, it's going to true. If I'm going to click the close button, okay, now I'm going to make the visible as a false. On click equal to set visible false. Okay, so if I just save it, if I run the application, see the model is not open. If I click the open model, then the model has been open. If it close, then automatically will be closed. Okay, and just creating the component using just whatever we have seen in the W3 score, just create the same component. Okay, so using app.css, using CSS approach, here I didn't render the model component, correct? So I didn't render the model component because the state value has been the false, by default value false. The whenever there is a state value be the true, then only I am going to render the this model. Okay, but I refer the CSS app.css. If I click the inspect element, okay, it's a network tab in CSS. It's app.css will be the model content. See, my CSS has been added in the component. Okay, again I will going to refresh. Okay, the initial page there is no model component has been appended. Okay, even if I mention like the model component will be rendered once the visible value is set to true. Here I didn't render the model component, but even that case also my CSS has been added here. Okay, so model dot content. Okay, model content has been added. But if you are using the style component, we won't worry about that. Okay, the style component, the respective styles will added only when the component has been rendered. If this component is not rendered, then the style is not going to be added in our web page. So in that case, what will happen, our page will be the perform very well, although the page speed will be increased. That's the main thing, main advantage of the style component. Okay, in other words, to create a CSS using JavaScript is just wrap around of the style component. It has an automatically critical CSS. Then using style component, there is no worry about class name. The class name will be auto generated. Okay, even there is the class name bugs in CSS. We are just going to use like a nested class element like hover or nested parent component, child component. The all the things will be happen in the style component in a easier manner. Okay, the same in the CSS, we are just going to convert the style component. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the style component package, style hyphen components. Okay, so using the package we can able to create the style component. So now is will be package.json as a style component. Okay, now we are going to create the those model and component, everything will be style component. I'm just creating the one folder like components. Okay, in this component I'm just going like a index.js import style from style component. Okay, next I'm going to get const model is equal to style dot div. What element you have to create? So I'm just going to create a div element. That's why I can select style dot div. Okay, just give the style dot div. In that case, so app.css. So this is the model component, right? My model. Okay, so model. So the same thing I'm just going to copy and paste in the model component. Okay, this one will be model content. So model content will be placed here. Okay, this also div. So now what I'm going to do is const model hyphen. So okay, model content is equal to style dot div. Background color just going to be here. Next close method, right? Close will be the span. Okay, it's not a div element, it's a span element. I'm just like a const close equal to style dot span. We just going to add the span. Okay. Okay, it has some hover and focus effect, right? That case will be handled like a hover. Okay, hover sense, color, and text separation. So, okay, just now going to export model, model content, and close. Okay, so in Abra.js, what I'm going to do, instead of showing the model, I'm just click a model, model, model content, close, so paragraph. So close, that will be the paragraph. Something in this model. Okay. So let's see the output right now. First, we'll check the output. Okay. I'm just going to remove all the CHS, whatever we have written here. Yes. Yes, the model component has been displayed. Okay. So now what I'm going to do means, so close is not ampersand times. Okay, close also. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to render the model component based on the visible value. Okay. If I'm going to take a visible, then will be model. Otherwise, it's going to be a null. Okay, just saved it. Yes. Now the model component has been not rendered. If I'm going to check the CSS, correct? Tab.css, sorry, index component is going to be some overflow auto. Looks like overflow auto is not going to be there. Yeah. See, the respected model component CSS is not upon in our doc. Okay. So if I click the open model, then only this component will be rendered, as well as the CSS will be added in a sorry, this is style data. Okay. Here will be added. Okay, so this when going to take the model, the DT is a class name. Okay, if I check the class name, here will be the header. Okay, if I'm going to run the same thing, if I go into refresh, so we are not adding the close method, right? So add the JS on click, set visible pods. Okay, if you go into the application, but check the style header in style tag. See, entire style component is not appended actually. So we have created the style component only for the model, so that there is no styles added. This is already existing one, which I have added in the app.css. So, okay, but if I click the open model, then only the style has been added. This is the main advantage of the style component. Okay, if you're using the lot of CSS file, less or SAS mean, those files has been added initially. So whenever there is a render the element component, it will take some time. Microsecond, 1 or 2 microsecond will take time to update the CSS file. So also the page speed performance, right? The page speed performance will be the lower. second one. If you're using style component, when the component has been rendered, on the time only the styles will be added. Otherwise, it won't add. Okay. If you click the close button, the model will be closed. The again is not going to remove. Again is not going to re-render. Once it's up under, the style will be placed here. So again, if you're going to call, is not going to again recreate. It will be referred automatically. Also, the class name, there is no need to developer think about the class name under. Okay, the class name will be generated automatically. That's the main advantage of the style component. Also, if you're getting the right, if you just we can style component also support the JavaScript type approach. Okay, there is no need to maintain the visible here, right? So if we make it like a, if I'm going to make a display a block based on the property, I'm just going to visible. Okay, visible is equal to visible. So based on the property value also, we can able to change the class name. So here I'm just like a block, right? I'm just creating like a dollar symbol and props dot, what's the visible? Okay, if the props are visible true, then I'm going to do like a block. Okay, otherwise it will be the hinder. Even that case also we can able to make. Props are visible block. Okay, none. Okay, yes, none. If I click the button, the display will be blocked so that the element has been entered. If I click those button, the element is not entered. Even the condition statement also we can able to make like a display. Okay, in even using the animation, even some transition effect also we can able to do that. So everything will be the nested life as well. So the model component, right? So here what we're going to do like is, even if I'm going to mention like a doll, I div, even this also we can able to make that. Okay, there is no limitation as well. Even when I was going to CSS update, there is developers not worry about the CSS class name, CSS version, and all is automatically created. Okay, that's the main advantages of the style component. Okay, so next we are going to check the sockets. Okay, so we have seen about this front end part. Okay, so back end part, I'm just going to be a Node.js. So basically we can able to communicate the server using two ways. So one is the HTTP or socket. Okay, HTTP is just like a essential request and response protocol in the client and server. So, and the whenever during the HTTP protocol, it will be established the one primary part. Okay, the all the parts, the all the requests will be sent and response will be get from the server side. If I need a request again to going to raise a client to server, then response will come. Each and every request we have to create the only. That's the main thing in the HTTP. Okay, so client has to be going to request the server, server going to response. The connection has been terminated. Okay, if there's a new request, again has to be client has to be request to server. The server will take some time and then will send the response. But in using WebSocket, okay, WebSocket protocol, once the request has been made, that link itself we can able to send and receive the response itself. Though in WebSocket there is only one link. Okay, there is only one connection has been established. Is not going to terminator until the connection will be lost, until we close the socket. So in the case, what will happen since it will be work like a event driven protocol. That means actually use it for a truly real communication. Okay, unlike HTTP where we have to constantly request update with sockets and updates are sent immediately when they are available. Okay, so that is the main advantage of sockets. So WebSocket is a protocol. So socket, we are going to use the socket Evo. Socket Evo is just like a library. Just create the library, wrap around the WebSocket protocol. Okay, now I'm just going to create a one Node.js project. Okay, so even here also we will create. Yes. Okay, and just get like a folder, new folder, server /index.js. Okay, what I'm going to do, right? I'm just going to create a one HTTP server. Yes. So using HTTP, if in normal, if you're going to create a Node.js application, HTTP will be the default library. Okay, you can using HTTP library, we can able to create a server. What I have to do is just creating the content type will be the text file. It's just going to return the one plain text. That's it. It's not going to return anything more than. So rest hello world. If I run this program, run this Node.js application, it's just going to listen in a port 8080. Okay, I'm just going to like node server slash index.js. So okay, fine. Okay, yes, cd my hyphen app. Okay, I'm outside of the folder, that's why cd my hyphen app. Now I'm going to like a node server slash index.js. Yes, it should be listened in the 8080 port. Okay, if I'm going to choose like localhost 8080, so hello world will be better. I just getting the one server, okay, HTTP server, and just return the hello world text. That's it. So in the top of the things, we are just going to create a one socket up, one socket connection. Okay. So the socket connection just going to create like a one thing. I just copy paste the code what I created before. This we'll see this later actually. Okay. So using socket.io, we can able to create a socket application. Okay, socket connection actually. So in socket connection, I just created the server. I just pass the server HTTP server to the this library, then IO. Using this IO, we can able to connect the socket. Okay, so socket IO we have to install. Okay, or socket.io. We do that. The socket IO will be added in our package as well as in node models. So socket IO, this is the server side library. Okay, if you're going to use the socket in the client side, then we have to use socket IO hyphen client. That is the client side library. Okay, so what I'm doing is yes, everything is done. Okay, if I'm going now, I'm going to what I'm going to do is now I'm going to do like the same thing. Node server slash index.js. So the port has been entered. Okay, localhost 8080. Okay, so this is a normal HTTP protocol. Okay, HTTP protocol is run from the 880 port. Okay, so it will be written the one plain text, but socket also will be created. Now I'm going to create a one HTML page. Stop. Okay, instead of React, I'm just using a plain HTML. Okay, socket. Just create a one jQuery and the socket library JS file importer. And here what I had is the URL part will be localhost 8080. Okay, which we have put in the localhost 8080. So in socket, the URL, the transport will be WebSocket. So when is going to be on in connect, the socket will be connected. Okay, so if I go into run this page, we'll check here. What's the problem? localhost 8080. One second. Okay, so just getting the outside of the application. Fine. Okay. I just getting the packages as in outside of the folder. That's the problem actually. Okay. Yeah, like node space server slacks index purchase. Yes. Local, what happened? User is connected in. Okay. So server has been listed in the A080. Server has been listed in the A080. The HTML page already has been open. Okay. Even if I going to do same thing now, I'm just not going to enter the page. Okay. Going to now server index. This is listening on A080 only. Okay. If I'm going to open the Radiant application, user is connected in. Okay, what will happen? The network, I'm going to check in the network in WS socket has been connected. Okay, just sending the message to the test. Okay, client has been requested one request for the test. So what will happen? The test will be captured in the server side. Server side. So it returns the response to the client as a test complete. Okay, test complete has been respond to the server to client. So what are the green has been happened, right? The green color mark is client has going to request in the server. The red color mark is server response to the client. So this is why, this is how client and server communication happen using socket.io. Okay, if I give like something versus page, the socket.html. Okay, I'm just going to, this is the response happened, right? Socket.emit. Socket.emit sense just go into sending the response. That is the socket emit. Emit is just going to use to request the request the query to the server, or response will send from the server. So using emit method, we can able to transfer the data from the client to server or server to client. Okay, and just request hyphen name. Okay, so here what I'm going to do means name is equal to GUVI. Okay, response hyphen name. Okay, raise hyphen name. The on writes, the on will be captured. Okay, those all will be the events already written in the socket.io. The on will be capture. That's the event handler. Is capture the response from the server. Okay, here I'm what I'm going to do means just like getting the message and print in the console log, or maybe we'll do like alert. Okay, alert with the message. Okay, the request name, the same thing, just I'm going to do in here, socket dot request name. So argument, right? Argument will be going to handle here in test complete response name. Socket dot emit will be response name is going to send the response to the client. Okay, so name, hi, this is org dot name. This org dot name. Okay, so rest name. Yes. Okay. Again, I'm just going to re-render the application, re-render the server. Okay. What are changes happen in the server? We have to re-render, okay, relaunch the application. But in client, there is no necessary. If whenever there is going to change the code, the automatically will be updated. Okay. See, hi, this is GUVI. So basically what happened, once connected the socket, client has been sent the data to the server, like name is GUVI. Okay. Server capture the request and send the response to the client. Hi, this is GUVI. This message has been handled in the client side. That's why it has been shown. Okay, the same way we can able to create the chat applications. Okay, nowadays most of the chat has been used like this approach. Okay, so there is another protocol like Webrtc, so RTC. Okay, the WebSocket is the one kind of approach. Using the approach, we can able to like us create a one simple chat application. Okay, the same way we are just follow the same approach and just creating the one socket one chat applications. That's I will show here. Okay, so I will in later end of the meeting, I will just add the report details to you. Okay, so I'm just like npm run client. Okay, voice client is in packagization. I have just mentioned the client. So React script start. Okay, instead of the start, I just create a client, enter. It will open the application. So this is my chat application which I have created. Okay, the same way we'll close this other part. Okay, the focus 3000. Okay, the next what I'm going to do in new terminal, I'm just going to like a npm run server. Okay, the server has been created in this folder, the folder, right? The server folder in index are the same what I have shown before. The same way I can just own HTTP server and socket things. Okay, now the server client is ready, server also ready. Okay, if I enter a name, if I'm going to click on name, just Akbar, the user has been added. User is connected now. Okay, now I'm going to do the same, going to do open the same link in another new tab. Okay, here I'm going to like Bharat. Okay, if I'm going to mention like here, so Bharat joined in the entertainment. Okay, so he joined the entertainment, right? The same way Bharat joined the entertainment. That's why I getting the message in Akbar channel. I'm getting the message. Okay, if Bharat going to change the room, so these all will be the chat rooms. Okay, left side is the category. Those will be the chat rooms. I will explain later. Okay, if I click the tech, but Akbar will get the notification like a Bharat change the room to tech. Okay, if I'm going to click the news channel, Akbar going to change the news, Bharat will get the notification. He's just getting the notification because okay, but so both Akbar and both Bharat have a same group. If I'm going to print a message like here, hi, this is Akbar. I'm just going to send the message. This is my message. Bharat will receive from here and there. Okay, if I'm going like a hi, this is Bharat. Okay. Okay, this sender Bharat has been sent the message. Akbar received this message from the entertainment group. If Akbar going to change the some other tech group or news group sense, he is not going to get the message from the Bharat. Okay, both Bharat and Akbar is not in the same group, same chat rooms as well. So he is not going to send the message. Not going to send as well as receive the message from Bharat. Okay, just like a hi. Okay, if you're going to, the hi is not printed in the Bharat channel. If it's changed in the news, same channel news. Okay, he's changed the news channel, right? If you're going to change the news channel, if he's going to send a message to the Akbar, then he will get the notification. Yes. Okay. So what is going to pin here? Something. Bharat will get the notification. Bharat will get the message. I think what Bharat going to send the message. The same Akbar will get the messages. Oh, empty message. This get the messages. So how is working mean? This for React, what we have seen the before the style component and the React, the same way, just create in the one client application that is has been implemented, created using style components. Okay, so same index.js as a app. Okay, in the app itself, I'm just creating the three ways components. I mean, basically two sections. The left section will be the group channel, group category. Right side will be the messages. Okay, so here what I'm just a socket. So in last exercise, we just creating the socket application in a HTML. Okay, but in React, we have to install the one package called socket IO -client. Okay, then only socket will be can able to implement in the React application. That's why I have created the one socket component here. So basically, it's not a component; it's just like a wrapper of the my all components. So see here root, so model, the toast message. These are the components. Socket is not a component. Socket is just returning the empty element, but it has a own functionality. So getting the message, sending the message. So all the things has been handled in the socket. Okay, this is the wrapper of the component. Okay, in the socket, what I'm doing, just creating the one socket connection using localhost 8080, which is server has been published. Okay, so socket connect ID. Once socket is connected, just store the socket ID. Each socket, if a client is going to connect the socket, so each client has a separate ID. That means each socket has a separate ID. So I need a socket ID. So that's why what I did is I just use the callback method. I could just store the socket ID here. The same use it, whatever we have did. Okay, socket. So once it's just like one socket is connected. Okay, and just what I am going to do is just store the socket connection to that variable name. Using this common method, we can able to send the messages. Okay, I'm just going to send the message from here, right? So just going to use the same send socket message. Using the message path, we can able to send the request to the server using emit method. Okay, so all the methods, all this send message, receive messages, receive response, send response, all the things has been handled in the event handler. Socket.on, socket.notification. For what am I going to notification, right? That is will be the notification. So message, once message completed, this will be handled here. Here I am just checking the socket ID. So when you're going to send the request to the server, each request have I'm just adding the socket ID. Once the current socket ID and sending the socket ID is not matched, I'm not going to add the messages. In the action, right, is just the callback method, just handling and storing the all the messages from the client and server. Okay, so just now explain now. So this is a root element. In section, there is a two sections. One is a group, one is a chat area. The group has been created in a client itself. Okay, so group panel, see, this is the group: entertainment, sports, tech, and news. Each group has a, sorry, okay, each group has a individual unique ID. So ID will be the entertainment, sports, tech, and news. I just everything will be created as a style component. Those style component data and CS has been added here in Industry-Proficients. So root, section, groups, group elements, chat, circle. Okay, so model component also has been implemented here. Okay, in toast message, all the animations, okay, the animation purpose, it will be rendered based on the condition basis, because toast will be happen only once time. So whenever the user is changed, the opposite user has been changed the room category, is going to add the own rooms, going to add the channel, then only notification will take it. So that will be the condition based approach. Those say what happened based on the visible, the animation will be handled. Otherwise, the position of the toast message will be the bottom minus 300 pixel. Then only it will be visible. Okay, so all the things has been handled in the style component. In come to the server part. Okay, in server part there is a two things. Okay, so in room, right, so here once the user has been added, once if I'm going to do, when user has been added, so what will happen, I'm just going to pass the room ID as well as username, also socket ID. Okay, room ID is a entertainment, name will be the Akbar, So socket ID, whatever we're getting from the socket. Okay. Once it's added, so immediately this event will be triggered from the server side. Okay. So here, right, socket.join room ID. So here what I have created, each one I have created like a rooms. Okay. So that socket, the client socket will be going to join the one room ID. So who are going to create, who are going to visit our application, visit the site, they are going to join the one rooms. Either it's entertainment, either it's a news site. Those will be a bundle of the one bucket. So one entertainment room has a particular client, news has a particular client. The same way, the socket of giant has been added. Okay. Once he's had been added, so there is a difference between broadcast and normal socket ever commit. What is the use of broadcast means? Broadcast is nothing but it's just sending the message to all the clients, not only for roommates, sorry, room IDs. Okay, who are there on the room is not only for the rooms or not only for the client. Okay, so who are connected on the socket? If you would like to send the message to all the users, then we have to use the socket.broadcast.emit. So there's a notification. Okay, if I go like over here, root, root, root. Okay, I just open the 5 new window. Okay, so A, B, C, D. Okay, if you can add user, C, A is joined in a computer, A is joined, A is joined. It's already is notification has been closed actually. If it is add is a E, E joined, E joined, E joined, E joined. Okay, so that's the broadcast is just used to send the response to the all the socket who are on the socket. Okay, if I go to change the new channel, so A, B, C, D. So D is going to change the entertainment news. Others will be get a response. Okay, so if now A, B, D and E is going to be a same room. Okay, A and B will be the entertainment. C will be the tech. Okay, A going to send the message like, hi, I am A. So this message will be get from only in the B channel, B client. Okay, he's not going to receive in the tech, he's not going to receive in the news, not receive the news. That is because of I just handling the one condition here itself. That message will be sent only particular, where is that in the yes, particular to the socket. Okay, where is the code? Okay, message send message right, io.sockets.in room id.emit. Okay, thus those buckets, those entertainment buckets who are added in the clients on the bucket itself, those clients only can receive that messages. Okay, that's why this is a io.socket.in room, this is a room and emit. If I use the same thing with dots, what will happen? All the user will get the response. Okay, if I use the broadcast, all the user will get the response. If you use only for the particular rooms or rooms user alone, how to send the response bin, then we got to use io.socket.in room ID and then name it. Room ID will get from the client messages. Okay, either we'll get from the client messenger. In if it's not necessary, then we can maintain the same room in a server itself and we can able to use that. That's not a problem. Okay, so room ID either you can send the client to server or server also will take care of it. Okay, so that's why we are getting the message only to the particular users. Okay, if C is in a tech group, okay, so here hi, I am tech. Okay, this message is not going to be in any channels. Okay, because in tech no one is there. Okay, so if A is going to join a tech, okay, others will be get a response. Okay, A change the room to tech. Okay, if I going to make like a hi again, hi, this is tech, A will get a response. hi, this is A, C will get response. Okay, the existing chat history I didn't maintain. Okay, that is what is the future. Okay, so we can able to maintain and so that will be maintained using some source, some data in a server side. Whenever the client is switching to the channel, we just pass the entire message to the client. That will be handled later. Okay, so now what we can do is just basic creating the groups as well as sending the message to the right side. Okay. So two ways we can able to send the message. Either will be the broadcast, either will be the particular rooms. Okay, using the broadcast, we can send the message to the entire clients, entire who all are connected in the socket. Those clients we can able to get the response from the server. Using rooms on the email, then that will be send the message to the particular clients alone. Okay. So I will share the application to you at the end of the day. So okay, then you can be able to go through it. Apart from that, so socket connection is not going to be closed until we close the application, until we close the socket. So okay, so in HTTP, if there is a request, mean client has to request to the server will send the response, and then the connection will be terminated. Okay, if there's an again a new request, client class to request the server will send the response and then will be terminated. That is for HTTP. Okay, but in socket is never going to recreate that line. Okay, if there is socket is not responding, okay, if the constant is responding, we have to reconnect the socket. Otherwise, it's not going to handle simultaneously. Okay, so once the connection has been established, using that connection itself, we can able to send and receive the data. Okay. Yes, I'm just going to send the applications. Okay, so GitHub. So good shot. Okay. So here I have the entire repo. So source and server. We can just check it out. Okay, so it will be yes. Yes. So this right. So this will be the already even listener. Okay. If the connection has been error. Okay. Socket has a own even handle results. The connection error, connection time mode, error. Okay. Reconnect attempt, deconnecting, reconnect fail. Those will be the already has been added in the event listener. So if the would like to add some even Henderson, you can able to, so whatever the client based on the error also you can able to reconnect. Okay, here this reconnect, right? Maybe the authentication error, maybe this is the transport error, maybe this internal server error. That will you can able to disconnect and join. Okay, if the ones, if let's say for example, if the client is joined here, right? If the we can able to create a one close button. Okay, using the close button, we can just close the socket. That what will happen? The close method has been trigger from the server end. So disconnect, right? So here the disconnect may be called. Okay, let's say for example, if there is a user content, right? And just clear the messages. Just going to close A, B, C, D, E. Okay, E has been closed. C, transport close. Okay, two message has been printed here. So this is disconnecting. Okay, disconnecting. This even has been triggered. That's why it has been disconnecting. Here has been disconnected. Okay, if you're going to close another client, here also the message. So disconnecting is the will trigger before disconnect. So disconnect will trigger after the transfer has been closed. Okay, whenever the user is not there on the socket, we should close the application. Otherwise, the connection has been still will be used. Okay, the same way we'll handle in the client side also in some way. Okay, and the some way what will happen is there is an internet failure, so some network failure. Okay, in client side we'll have a one event called connection error. Okay, connection error, right? Yes, reconnection error. Sorry, not reconnection error. Once again. So connection error, connection error, yes, connection base connection error has some arguments. It will be written some message. why it has been failed. Either it's a transport close, either it is a network failure, you have a message. Based on the message, you can be able to reconnect using there is a reconnect method. Okay. So socket.reconnect, you can be able to connect this. Reconnect, you can be able to connect it. Okay. If you like to close the socket, then you can make a socket.close. Okay. So socket.connect will be useful to create a connect the socket server. Okay, if there's a disconnect. Okay, if the server has been disconnected. Okay, if the server has been disconnected, it will be so like a IO server disconnected, and then you are again you have to reconnect the socket. So everything will be helping it. Even you can able to create the custom events also. The custom events will be the whatever we have get like a send message completes notification. Those will be the custom event. Okay. Yes. Any doubts? Any query?
So, dear participants, you can post your queries in the chat box, which Mr. Akbar will be taking up. And Akbar, I believe we have a question by Venkata Shashanka. The question goes like this: would like to understand how the CSS will be appended to HTML page from JS file.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Sure, I'll repeat the question like this.
Yes.
I'll repeat the question again. It goes like this: how the CSS will be appended to HTML page from JS file.
Yes, basically we can be able to add the CSS in a multiple way. Okay, normal HTML CSS. Hope this is a normal HTML CSS, right?
Uh, the person who had raised the question, can
Okay.
you confirm?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
please
basically
proceed.
in HTML, right, we can be able to add the CSS in three ways. Okay. One is the internal CSS, other one is inline, other one is external styles. Okay. So inline styles it is it's like what's that? Okay, then here itself like index HTML. So if I'm going to add the style in development, style is equal to style is equal to so like display block. Okay, so background red. So this is the inline CSS. Okay, if we're going to make like this, then our application will be entered will be red color. So okay, this is the inline CSS. Internal styles is nothing but it's just going to add in our header sections. Okay, is there is no under, so we can able to add the internal styles in a header itself inside the header tag. Okay, using style tag we can able to add the some set of CSS file. This is the internal CSS. Even here also this I do it right the same way. What I'm going to do is, so background, instead of this background I'm just going to change background red. Okay, if I refresh this, it will be there. This is called internal CSS. The external CSS is nothing but it's just like a link. Okay, so one same way here, index what is here, right? Okay, there is we have created one application, right? Yes. So here, right? So style.css has been added in the somewhere else. Okay, if I'm going to do the refer the style.css in my application, I'm just going to create on like a URL path like link src is equal to so https, right? So this will be the external CSS. So we can able to add the CSS in a three ways. Even in React also we can able to do this. In React we can able to create inline, internal, and external CSS. In inline you can just create same like a style. So, okay, inside the object you can create like a background red and down. Okay, so it should be an object. Okay, if you're going to do in HTML, it will be the plain string. Okay, style is equal to within double quotes background and semicolon dot. So in React you are just going to do in the object, but apart from the inline, internal and external will be the same for us. Okay, how to connect the front end and back end to the deploy the application. Okay, yes, yes, Monica. So here what I have did means, okay, the same way I will show here itself. Okay, so in a separate way, okay, here there is a, there is no any major functionalities. Okay, just like a one client and server communication, just sending the message from client to server, that's it. Okay, so in this same project itself, I just created the one client application. The entire thing will be the client application that is created using the React. Okay, in same thing, I'm just creating the one folder. In one folder itself, there is a index.py. This is alone will be the server. Okay, if I go like npm run client, okay, npm run client. Okay, in their case, the entire client application will host in the localhost 3000. Okay, so based on our port availability, it will be some local server. If a class server, and what I'm going to do, npm run server. Okay, this is nothing but this server and client script. Where's client? Yes, I think clear. Okay, the client, right? Those script have been already I have created. Here is server and client. That's why server has been opened the separate port, client has been opened the separate port. Then what will happen? You can just do some AWS using AWS or Heroku application as Netlify. Using the service, you can be able to deploy the applications. Okay, there is a one service called Webrtc actually. Once again. So Webrtc, okay. I'm just using the Webrtc, just gone to the Webrtc. In this Webrtc itself, I'm just add my repo and started the application. It will be give the free of services. Okay, you don't need to pay some amount and all. It's just like a free. You can able to create a one you can host the one application. Using this, you can be able to host the one based on that I have created the application. Okay, even the same way you can host a Node.js also. Okay, but here I'm using the socket, right? Source will be the socket, right? That's why I have using the some socket URL here. If the server has some API request, some server has some API data manipulation and data stored, getting the data from the database, data manipulation, right? That case you are going to handle in the HTTP API call. That will be handled like a Axios method, normal Ajax call and all, right? Using the purpose, we can be able to get the data from the server. Okay, for hosting purpose, you can use Vercel or Heroku or AWS have paid services or some other, a lot of paid services available, a lot of free services also available. Using those things, we can be able to host the application in the front end and back end. For connecting the front end back end, either if it is socket, then you have to create the socket client method, and then you have to add that server URL. If it's a client, if it is not a socket and if it is a HTTP server, then you can do the normal API call like adjust call, right? You can now using adjust call, you can just add the URL and getting response and fetching the response. You can send the data. That also will be handled. This everything will be added in the code level. Hope it's clear.
I hope that